National Weather Service in Seattle. We'll get started in just about 2 minutes. So if you hang on the line, we'll get going in just a minute. Matthew here at the National Weather Service in Seattle. Thank you for joining our briefing. It's 10:02. We'll go ahead and get going. I'm joined by Mike here in the office, as well as several other colleagues on the line here. And we wanted to give you all an update on the expected weather that will be starting today and tomorrow and really through the balance of the week. It's shaping up to be a pretty active week. So several key points here to mention off of the top. The first thing, we really want to highlight the abnormally cold conditions that are expected. We're going to see an extended period of several days of very cold conditions, both overnight lows, which will be more notable, but also the daytime highs. We'll get into those details as we move on to the webinar here, but that is the key point off the top. Additionally, we'll see breezy winds across parts of the area, especially early in the week, today and tomorrow, moving into Thursday across the outflow area from the Fraser River Valley. So that's western Whatcom County and across the San Juan Islands is where we'll see those winds be most prominent. And then as we get into Thursday and then onward into the weekend, we'll also see some east winds down from the Cascades. So those areas that are more susceptible to the east winds from the Cascades will also see those winds increase later on this week. And then, of course, snow is certainly an area of a lot of questions to this point, and we'll do our best to answer as many as we can and highlight that in this briefing here. But there is potential for some lowland snow. We're expecting some scattered showers really today in some localized areas and also into Wednesday. But the more significant potential for snowfall will be later in this week, Thursday through the weekend. And that's where we could be seeing some more significant lowland snow accumulations. And also, we will see some significant mountain snow, fairly typical for what we'll see this time of year, but in combination with the lowland snow, there could be some additional impacts across the area with that. And then one final point to mention, as well as the avalanche conditions will remain dangerous across both the Olympics and the Cascades, really for the next several days through the week and into the weekend. So to address kind of what we know and what we don't know at this point, we have high confidence that, these much colder temperatures will remain for several days this week. It looks like Thursday and Friday will be the two coldest days with our overnight low temperatures well below freezing. Our high temperatures could even be right around freezing or below freezing on those 2 days as well. And with those winds that we're expecting, wind chills will also be a concern, especially in the areas where the winds will be strongest. The gusty winds, we are also fairly confident that we'll see periods of fairly strong Fraser outflow at times throughout the week, as well as those east winds off the Cascades through the gaps and down below Thursday into the weekend. And finally, we are having increased confidence at this point in time that there will be lowland snow across parts of Western Washington. That confidence has increased a little bit over the last 24 hours, but certainly bridging to what we don't know, there are a lot of details yet to be refined, and that's the nature of these systems, as many of you are well aware. So we will continue to refine the timing and the amounts, but we'll lay out some details, what we know at this point, and where our confidence lies through the rest of this webinar. So to walk through a timeline to lay out when we're expecting the most of the impacts throughout the next several days into the weekend. For today, we could see a few areas of some light snow showers, mostly north of the Olympics on the north side of the Olympic Peninsula and also on the east side of the peninsula down towards Hood Canal. Again, not a whole lot in the way of significant heavy accumulations, but some light snow can be expected today. There's a little bit of moisture left. Tonight it'll be cold and the breezy winds will continue, especially in the spots where we've seen the breezy winds already, but not a whole lot. It's kind of a quieter, early part of the system here, kind of in between parts of the system. For Wednesday, we are expecting some light snow showers. These are kind of all across the area as we see a system work into the area, but nothing too significant in terms of accumulations, less than about 1 inch is the expectation. Kind of scattered about is the plan for Wednesday with those snow showers coming in. Moving into Wednesday night, we see our color table here ramp up on our impact color there, go from yellow to orange. We're expecting some of the impacts to begin to increase with some additional light snow and also the Fraser outflow. We'll start to increase in earnest across western Whatcom County, across the San Juans, and that will be Wednesday night. Moving into Thursday, this looks like when we'll see the more significant snow begin. At this point in time, it looks like it would begin in the afternoon across the southern portions of the area. and then lift north through the day and into the evening. So additionally, this is when we're expecting the Fraser outflow to peak across western Whatcom County and through the San Juans and through the over towards the east entrance of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. This would be Thursday when that should peak. Additionally, Thursday afternoon is when the easterly winds near the Cascades and downwind of the Cascade Gaps will also begin to peak. So Thursday could be a very active day. Certainly with the timing of that potential snow arrival and then the amounts and where it sets up, that is an area of lower confidence at this point in time, but potentially fairly impactful. So we're keeping a close eye on that, and we'll address that a little bit more as we move forward. Thursday night, additional snow is likely across the area, possibly significant, and also very cold. And then to the weekend, it looks like Friday will be still cold, and high temperatures will only be about freezing across most of the lowlands. So after a very cold night, a very cold day, and then potentially another cold night right there. So in terms of the new snow, it should be less impactful in terms of additional snow falling, but that is likely to be on Saturday when the next round, and those amounts could also be higher. So we'll bridge into that a little bit more into the specifics and kind of what we know at this point in time. So to start off with the temperatures, as we said at the beginning, really the temperatures are probably the most critical thing that we're looking at with the several days of some very cold temperatures. It looks like Friday will be the coldest day across most of the area, with the morning temperatures, Friday morning on the order of 20 degrees, 20 to 25 around most of the lowlands. As we move through the day on Friday, it will also be quite cool. It looks like temperatures may struggle to get above freezing. So especially combined with Thursday, we are looking at the possibility for some impacts to infrastructure, freezing pipes, and that sort of thing, which does start to come into play when we have several days where temperatures barely get above freezing. Additionally, with any snow or moisture that's around, we are expecting that will likely refreeze given the very cold temperatures. So this map shows that the temperatures on Friday morning, and this next map shows the wind chill forecast. So as we mentioned, with the winds in combination with the very cold air, especially across western Whatcom County and the San Juans, wind chill values in the teens to single digits appear pretty likely, even for the Friday morning period. So there could be localized spots where it even approaches 0 or lower. So this is definitely a concern, especially for those that don't have adequate sources of heating or shelter during this very cold and windy pattern. So again, this is the Saturday high temperatures to illustrate that the next morning will also be cold. So this is basically 2 days in a row of very cold temperatures, very similar temperatures that are expected along with the winds. So that was the temperature there, and we'll move on to the snow at this point. And so this map is showing the first round of snows. This is from tonight, Tuesday night, into Thursday morning. And as you can see across the lowlands, we have a fairly widespread area painted there of the less than 1 inch. So we're going to see some scattered showers both today and probably into Wednesday as well. And the best chance will be on the north and the east slope of the Olympics. And some of this, basically the amounts are less than 1 inch. And that's the most likely scenario. There could be some localized higher amounts, especially on the north side of the Olympic Peninsula. But again, the moisture looks to be more marginal in this case. We're not going to see a lot of heavy snow, just more some light scattered showers through the day. But shifting gears, that is likely to change later in the week. So this is a 72-hour snowfall map. This is showing Thursday afternoon through Sunday morning. And I want to stress here, our confidence in these precise values is on the lower to moderate side. Our confidence is increasing slightly that there will be significant snow across portions of the area. But certainly the confidence in the precise timing, when these events will be, where it will be focused at what time, that still remains lower and likely will be lower until we get a little bit closer. A couple other things to point out on this map. We have this area circled on the north side of the Olympic Peninsula from Port Angeles back through Port Townsend. This is an area that we know can get enhanced snowfall amounts with the strong Fraser outflow. So while we have a couple of inches there, it is very possible that some localized higher amounts can develop, especially in conjunction with the stronger Fraser outflow winds on Thursday and during the afternoon in particular. So that's something we'll be keeping a close eye on and refining in the coming days. Otherwise, you can see we have these totals that are penciled in across the area, and that confidence, again, is somewhat low in the precise timing and amounts across most of the lowlands. So we'll move on to this next table, and this pairs well with that last plot, and there's a lot of numbers here, a lot of percentages here. So just to quickly walk through what we're laying out, for any particular location, you can read the table from left to right, and we broke this out into geographic areas. So your precise city or county may not be named, but we try to hit kind of the geographic areas that we could group together. So for instance, for the top here from Bellingham to Mount Vernon, you can read this from left to right. And these are the probabilities or the percentages of seeing each of these snow amounts. And this is a 3-day total, again, covering Thursday afternoon through Sunday afternoon. Likely there will be a first round Thursday late in the afternoon, evening into Friday morning, and then a second round of snow on Saturday across most of the area. And again, these are all combined into this total amount over 3 days. So for example, by way of explanation here, for Bellingham to Mount Vernon, there's a 60 to 70% chance of at least 1 inch during this 3-day period, 1 inch of snow accumulation. And then moving across from left to right, you can see the probabilities go down as the threshold amounts, the amounts of snow go up. So for 6 inches, for instance, for the same area from Bellingham to Mount Vernon, there's about a 20 to 30% chance of seeing at least 6 inches of snow. So a couple of things to highlight here. Basically, the probability of seeing greater than 1 inch of snow, it's more than a 50-50 chance across nearly all of the area here. In fact, those probabilities across many areas are on the order of 70 to 80%. So we are confident that most places will see some snow during that 3-day period, Thursday afternoon through Sunday. Our confidence has increased with respect to that. If we were to look more at the probability of 6 inches, greater than 6 inches during this 3-day period, we see a couple areas are favored. That especially from the Everett to Tacoma, we have 30 to 60 heaviest south, and then down Olympia through Chehalis as well, 60 to 70. So of course, as you move south, that's where we're expecting a heavier amount of snow to set up, and the probabilities are highest. But the bottom line here is most areas, our probabilities of several inches of snow during this 3-day period are above 50%. So again, that follows that our confidence is increasing that many areas will see impactful snow through the balance of this week. And we mentioned the winds several times here, but we'll just have another slide here to hit on the confidence and the timing here and some of the impacts from the wind as well. So the strong Fraser outflow will pick up on Wednesday, expected to peak on Thursday into Friday, and gusts 35 to 55 miles per hour that can be expected during that peak time, as indicated on the map here. When these strong winds are in combination with the cold air late in the week, wind chill will be significantly low, perhaps near or around zero across portions of western Whatcom County in particular, as well as the San Juan Islands. Additionally, with these winds, there is some concern that as we get some snow later in the week and these winds do pick up, that especially in combination, there could be some issues with power outages and tree limbs and that sort of thing that can happen with strong winds. The winds themselves may be strong enough to cause some issues, but certainly having some extra weight from anything melting and freezing or freezing on the trees, power lines, and so forth, that could be a concern. And especially with these very cold temperatures, for residents that rely on heating and may lose power, that would be a bigger concern too. So that is another possible impact from the weather this week. So we covered a lot of ground here. I want to put the slide back up just to reiterate some of our key points for the week. We are expecting the abnormally cold conditions really from midweek through the end of the week and into the weekend. We will see these breezy winds in several locations, the Fraser outflow across the San Juan Islands in western Whatcom County, as well as the east winds from the east over the Cascades Thursday into the weekend. We are expecting that there'll be some light lowland snow showers scattered around, some light accumulations both Tuesday and Wednesday on the order of less than an inch. However, we are expecting a more significant snowfall later in the week, Thursday through Sunday. As we laid out, it looks like there will be 2 periods of heavier snow, Thursday evening into Friday morning, and then a second one on Saturday and into Sunday. Those will be the 2 periods of concern, and we expect that many locations may see some significant snowfall. As expected with the cold air, mountain snow is also expected with the amounts that we showed on the previous slide there. For the passes over those 3 days on the order of about anywhere from 12 to about 24 inches, so 1 to 2 feet is possible at the passes as we get through the later half of the week and into the weekend. And then finally, the other note is that the dangerous avalanche conditions will continue across the Olympics and the Cascades. So that concludes our presentation for today. We'll go ahead and stop the recording.